Hello, this is Justice Backstrom with the Texas Morality Commission. Um, Today I'm going to be explaining how I almost threw my life away and why you never compromise your, um, well, one, why you never compromise, and specifically why you never compromise your morals. So, about 8 months ago now, I was just getting ready to deploy, and um, and so I didn't have time to, or well, I didn't think I had time to put in a leave request and do that officially. So I made the foolish decision to um, do that on leave to go 5.5 miles to visit my grandparents, not on leave, on liberty, so over the weekend, even though I knew it was well outside the um, liberty boundaries, and I figured, hey, it's like, one, it's a pretty understandable thing. I mean, my grandparents are getting old. My grandfather is, his health is deteriorating, but not to the point where it's like he's actually gonna die, but it's not looking good, I guess. And I figured, like I know that I can drive that distance safely and in the time that in time to get there, spend some time, and come back in time for work the next week. And I figured, it's a compromise. I'm compromising. Um, it's not something I'm supposed to be doing, but I didn't see it as a big deal, and it wasn't a big deal. I went and I drove that Friday night and um, got there safely and spent Saturday and Sunday morning with them, and then I hopped in my truck and I was about 100, maybe 150, 200 miles away coming back, and my truck breaks down on the highway. Um, I'm just driving along and I hear ka-thunk, and my speedometer and odometer, or speedometer and tachometer, start doing this, like a windshield wiper. And so I put on my hazards, get over onto the right lane, um, and I'm freaking out. So what ended up happening is I took the differential part to see what was happening, and the ring gear and the pinion, just the little bits in the wheel that actually make your car move, were shredded, and so yeah, there was no driving anywhere on that. But it's still, it's like 11 in the morning at this time, so I start trying to see if I can get a tow truck I don't want to. I don't want to admit what I did at this point because I still wanted to try and solve it by myself and avoid trouble if possible. Um, Tow truck's not coming. Again, nothing I can do to make it move on my own. Um, and even if I did get a tow truck at this point, not. Um, I was not at a place where I could financially afford to um, pay to have it towed all the way down to San Diego, the remaining 400 miles. That's a long and very expensive tow. But I figured there are options available, emergency loans available to service members that I thought I could get, and so I tried looking at my options for those, and it wasn't looking like anything was going to be available that I could just do it and get something immediately, or if it was, it would be something that would have to happen once I was already in once I'd already gotten down to San Diego, and even then I might have to wait for them to open. Eventually, I got my truck towed just to some parking lot in some hotel parking lot, and that was basically all the money I had left. So I'm getting to the point where I'm panicking. I'm trying to hitchhike and just get myself at least back to San Diego and then figure it out from there. But that ended up not being a viable option. I had to call my NCOs, my corporals, and be like, hey, I really messed up. Explain the situation. And what we ended up doing is I got. So, this is where it takes a huge turn for the worse, I guess. I remembered that I have my government travel charge card, and I guess at this point my only concern was getting back to work, whatever come what may, and so I this one tow truck company that I looked into, they didn't have somebody that was able to do that long range at the time. So, but they call back and they say, hey, we got somebody that would be willing to do a long range trip. And so I say, okay. I call them back and I say, I've got an option for payment. And I had told them earlier that I might not. So when they came and got my truck on the tow truck, they wanted to see the payment. They wanted the payment right then, and I hate myself to this day for not just calling my grandparents and asking them if they'd be able to foot me the cost, because I still at this point sort of wanted to at least appear to be not so screwed up that I had no options, nothing I could do for myself. And I should have really just accepted whatever help I could get, but I paid it with my government travel charge card, and um, and the worst part is, like, within 5 minutes of that transaction, my grandparents call and they're like, "Hey, we're still trying to help. There's not much we can think of to do, but if you need us to foot you the cost, then we'd be willing to do that." And I'm like, dang it! And that's when it really starts hitting me how badly I screwed myself over. Um, and so just all that ride. So the tow truck's taking my truck back up to my grandparents, and my corporal's driving out to my grandparents to drive me back to San Diego. And this whole ride, I'm just scared brainless. I'm like, what did I do? Why did I do this? I'm so dumb. And again, the whole ride back down to San Diego with my corporal is, we just kind of rode in silence, and it was kind of like the I'm not upset with you, I'm just disappointed kind of vibe that I'm getting from my corporal, and I'm just like, damn it, I'm not gonna be. I'm like, this is gonna take a lot for me to be able to redeem myself. So, long story short, all of this comes out. I obviously get punished for every count. Um, I was very fortunate. I got a lot of favor with people who were, I I guess, able to see that, hey, this guy is like genuinely repentant. He's not trying to hide anything. My grandparents did give me money, cash, to repay the government travel charge card. So I made that payment as soon as I could. And there were, like I said, there my OIC, my NCOs, and then the intelligence officer, all they all hit me on different infractions, I guess. Things I screwed up on. But they, all of them basically gave me a slap on the wrist, and for that I am, again, I could have totally thrown my life away. I absolutely owe everything in my career and my life moving forward to them for being gracious to me. But the reason I bring this all up, it's a long anecdote, and the reason I bring it up is to just show how a little compromise, or a seemingly little compromise, can lead to you getting into situations where the problem just gets worse and worse and worse until you're in too deep. And so what I take from this is never do anything remotely wrong, ever. And it sounds stupid. Obviously, that's not something achievable in the literal sense, but it's just this idea of don't consciously make bad decisions, and you can generally avoid getting into stupid situations. So yeah, that's the story of how I almost threw my life away, and why you never, ever, ever compromise. So with that being said, I want to thank you for watching. Hopefully you can learn something from my mistakes, because it's a hell of a lot better than having to learn from your own. With that said, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.